Hey, this is Sigrún with Universal Pagan Temple, and more things are coming out about Charlie Kirk's assassination, more details, um, and it's just really just this toxic energy is just persisting throughout all of it. It's obviously a false flag. Um, I don't know how else to say it, and it's tragic that it's happening. Around the anniversary of 9/11, which I believe is another false flag in which thousands of Americans died, and then the fallout was millions of Iraqis and Afghans also died as a response to these false flag attacks. And the title of the video is the only logical conclusion that can be drawn from all of this is that Israel was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, there's a lot of evidence to support this, and Netanyahu has gone on to Fox News apparently to say, "Oh, it was Muslim terrorists." No, no. Charlie Kirk was already becoming very critical, just little hints here and there, here and there, here and there in this past few months of Israel. And he's always been a big Israel fanboy, so to speak. But when it finally came to he's finding out the truth, now the real Great Awakening is going to be people waking up to how much involvement Israel has over our entire political system, and even our media. It's just insane. And once this Great Awakening happens, it's a true Great Awakening. It's not just New Age BS or some QAnon BS. No, it's actually real, and it seems to be happening, and they keep on trying to suppress it. You see it with people not letting go of Epstein. They're not letting Trump get off with just ignoring that. He promised to have these files out, and they're still not out, and making up lies that it was just a Democrat hoax. They don't really exist. Blah 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 blah. No, and we're not going to forget about this just because Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday. So the narrative that they're trying to push, that it was a angry trans individual, and they still haven't apprehended anybody. They have a picture of this person, and they appear to be wearing, a typical right-leaning freedom T-shirt, with a American eagle on it. Okay. But they said, "Oh, we found the rifle that was used to assassinate Charlie Kirk," and there was a bunch of radical leftist ideology on the casings of pro-trans and anti-fascist, and this just brings of too much of this wasn't left-leaning, just in terms of the amount of planning. And I don't even think somebody on the right could do this either. It's just, this was a trained individual assassin. There's no other way that this could be. This was planned months in advance. Everybody with an IQ over room temperature has come to this conclusion. And then you're also seeing reports of a plane leaving the airport, that was unmarked, just right after the supposed assassin should have escaped. And I guess also the people that they had apprehended, law enforcement, after the assassination, they were also false flags to distract, to allow the assassin to get away. And it's just, there's too much funny stuff for this to be a, it doesn't make any sense in terms of what the media is trying to say. And it's, it's all the right-leaning narrative is trying to say that, oh, it was a trans shooter. No, we're not that stupid. We're definitely not that stupid. And there's also fishy things going on in publishing. Amazon, somebody found a book that was published on Amazon the day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, called the Shooting of Charlie Kirk. And I've published books myself on Amazon, and the publish date, it's the day that you publish it. You can't edit the publish date. It just goes on there. You can't fool with it. You can't alter it. Because they give you that number that goes on the inside of your book. That it's the national filing for books. You can't just edit that. So this was a planned event, and yeah, you could find this evidence online. A lot of people are talking about it. And then apparently Israel's doing a lot of groundwork right now on the internet, trying to combat these growing narratives of people talking about, Israel's involvement with Charlie Kirk's assassination, because they want the false flag narrative of, oh, it was a trans shooter. Well, people aren't that dumb. They're just, there are some people that do think that, and just ignore what they say, because they're just they want it to be a trans person because of their own personal bias. They want their confirmation bias, and it doesn't make any sense for it. It's just, this was too well thought out, and too many people were involved, and it just reeks, the energy around it just reeks, the intuitive sense. Anybody with an intuitive sense should be picking up that, no, this was not a trans individual. This was not a left-leaning individual. And people that are buying into this narrative are, they're very much left or right leaning in their brain, and the centrists are all really coming together, or people are starting to think more in a centrist mindset, which is actually pretty encouraging, considering that this is a false flag meant to stir up aggression and hatred between the two political factions in America. And I'm actually very happy that a lot of people are just saying, no, this is BS. There's also an interesting clip that's going around of one of Charlie Kirk's last shows, where he was interviewing Ben Shapiro, and he starts bringing up Israel. And you can see Ben Shapiro, the look on his face, it's he kind of goes this with his eyebrows once he brings up Israel in a negative light. And this is going around, further spreading, the connecting the dots that Israel has been involved in this. And, we can't, one, forget about the Epstein files at this time, because this is also a distraction from that. And number two, we can't forget about the genocide in Gaza and what's going on there, because this is also, a distraction away from that. But, again, Israel is involved. Um, so, yeah, the one of the right's biggest voices, you know, Charlie Kirk, starts to sniff around Israel and what they're doing. Eventually, he would have found out the truth, if he would just listen. If he would have listened, definitely in this state, he does know the truth now in the afterlife. But yeah, um, they didn't want him speaking out about the genocide, because that would have been a great awakening of the right, because the right would need is a little push to realize what's going on over there in Gaza is a complete atrocity. um, because I don't believe that they're all non-empathetic. Empathy is something that is within all humans, and you have to be conditioned to not have empathy. And then sometimes with some people, they claim to have they're not empathetic, or you would think that they're not empathetic, but then they see something so dramatic and so evil that their empathy comes back in. Although there are seriously people without any empathy at all, and those are the true monsters. If these people can actually see the images of what's being done to the Palestinians, yeah, it's hard not to have your empathy be activated. Eventually, all of this stuff will be shown to be true. The actual Great Awakening will happen, and we can move on with humanity. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, blessed be.